Welcome to CE Ag Talks, the video series from CE Ag World, a media site devoted to the business of growing food undercover, including greenhouse produce, vertical farms, and outdoor protected crops.
Today we're talking to Colin O'Neill. He is the principal of O'Neill Strategies and senior policy advisor for the CEA Alliance. We'll be chatting about efforts in Washington to support the CEA industry and help it grow in the United States. Thanks for being here, Colin.
Thanks for having me.
So there's a bill in Congress right now that the CEA Alliance feels will be really significant for the CEA sector. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, that's right. This piece of legislation would be really transformational for the CEA industry and the specialty crop industry in the U.S. writ large. The bill we're talking about today is H.R. 1705, the Supporting Innovation in Agriculture Act. The bill, in essence, would create a new 10-year, 30% investment tax credit to support the deployment of innovative technologies for specialty crop growers. And so what that means is that if you are an indoor grower, about 30% of the CapEx required to build out a new farm or retrofit existing farms would be covered by this new refundable and transferable tax credit. For our outdoor friends, the tax credit would apply to a laundry list of eligible technologies and systems under the umbrella term of precision agriculture technologies, but that would include things like robotics, AI-powered irrigation, and lots of other things. So when you take a step back and you look at the investments into CEA, there's a lot of capital sitting on the sidelines that's being invested in things not related to agriculture. A lot of that is driven by market-based policies like investment tax credits. And so you've seen a lot of investment in capital over the past couple of years has been renewable energies, electric vehicles, domestic semiconductor manufacturing. That's really driven by these market-based policies like investment tax credits. In general, Washington is really sitting on the sidelines. We have seen very few policies adopted or changed to address the unique needs of indoor or CEA growers. Oftentimes, it is much more expensive to build a new indoor farm as it is, compared to just buying traditional farmland outdoors. And we know there's so much CapEx that goes into building out a CEA operation. Right now, there are very few policies at the USDA and traditional farm programs authorized by the Farm Bill really don't apply or don't apply neatly to those unique capital needs of the CEA industry. I mentioned on the outset, H.R. 1705 would be transformative because it would encourage all that capital that's sitting on the sidelines being invested in other segments of the economy to be invested in agriculture, ag tech, and specifically CEA in the United States.
Okay, and that sounds like the benefits to the growers are obvious, but it seems like it's a benefit to suppliers to the industry as well.
For sure. This would have so many downstream benefits for the CEA industry. The way the bill works, the only eligible recipients or participants in this tax credit are the specialty crop growers themselves. However, the 30% tax credit applies to purchasing and placing in service the list of eligible pieces of equipment or assets. And so that is high-tech lighting, HVAC, irrigation systems, automation and robotics, AI-powered equipment. There are so many applications within CEA operations where this tax credit would benefit not just the producer, but all of the folks in the value chain.
So what's the timing of all of this? And if for CEA industry members who are interested in supporting this, is there anything that they can do?
Yeah, we're talking at a really important time. Tax policy is always top of mind in Washington, but especially this year, as most of your listeners probably know, President Trump is encouraging Congress to pass a sweeping tax package using the budget reconciliation process. That budget reconciliation bill is actually working its way through the House of Representatives right now. The committees that are in charge of drafting the tax provisions and other provisions of the reconciliation bill are finalizing their plans now. So for any listeners or folks who are tuning in that want to be part of this, I encourage you to call your representatives, call your senators, and urge them to include H.R. 1705, the Supporting Innovation in Agriculture Act, in the budget reconciliation bill that's making its way through Congress. Now, this is a party line bill. Only Republicans really care about advancing this, but this is HR 1705 is a very bipartisan bill. At the end of the day, Democrats are going to vote against the reconciliation bill that House Republicans are putting together. But for Democratic members, they can still co-sponsor this bill and send an important signal about the bipartisan importance of having policies like this to encourage greater adoption and deployment of innovative technologies. And at the end of the day, more CEA producers across the U.S.
Well, thanks, Colin. I appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.